Hello and welcome to my review on the Pandomoto Falcon Aviator leather jacket. It is a lovely jacket, as you can see from me modeling here. This is a real rider review. If you want something more technical, I'm sure there'll be lots of videos out there that you can ponder over, as well as on Pando's website themselves. But my review here will be on my impressions as a rider using this jacket going to some bike meets or a short commute into work. At the time of recording, I have covered just over 500 miles on this jacket on my BMW M1000R, which is a naked sport bike. You're going to hear a lot in this review the word premium, because it just is premium. It looks premium, it feels premium, its safety ratings are premium. I'll get into all this, but I gotta say, I am very impressed with what Pando have done with this jacket. So I'm going to start with the safety. Now, this is a AA rated jacket, CE AA rating on the latest standard as of 2024. And it feels it. And I say that with a little bit of surprise, if you like, because it is so thin. It is so comfortable. You don't associate that with a AA rated garment, especially one of this style, this aviator style, which you would be forgiven for thinking it's a bomber. They share a lot in common. The safety of AA for something this comfortable and something this supple is very surprising. I mean, I've reviewed a lot of coats in my time, especially bombers, and they're all pretty much A-rated, because to get this soft, light, thin, you got to go, down on your materials. And it is the goat skin that is giving it that extra durability, coupled with Level 1 CE protected ghost armor in the elbows and the shoulders. Now, the D30 ghost armor is absolutely brilliant. You cannot fault it at all. And in this jacket, it is so thin. You hear it a lot where people say you don't know it's there. You really don't know it's there. You have to feel for it. Only if you're wearing a t-shirt can you get that little rub sometimes where you just know the armor is there. There is an optional slot at the back for the Quadraflex Level 2 back protector. Now, again, that is a very good back protector. It's a similar style to what you'll find on Revit jackets. Very protective, very comfortable. Also, not very intrusive as well. It's not full length, so it's 3/4 of your back with your coccyx missed out. But that, again, I believe would have been a choice by Pando, because if you did have the full length, it would start to ride up and detract from the style of the jacket. So I want to just go back to this soft goat skin leather, because I can just tell that style was the number one forefront on this jacket. And looking at the rest of their range, I think style is right up there with minimal sacrifice to safety. And I'm so glad that they did make that choice, because you're not going to get this over camera, but this is just so soft and it's just so comfortable to wear. And when you have the jacket on open like this, when you've arrived at your destination, it's just such a stylish piece, but still giving you that AA rating, which is just reserved for much thicker leather jackets. Now, the leather is a bovine leather, which gives you that lovely texture. When you look at it all breaks apart, and I'm sure it will mature really well. I know I keep going back to the leather, but it's so important because it's your jacket at the end of the day. I don't know if the camera can really get in close enough, but you can see that grain in the leather, and it's just so soft and malleable. It goes with the style so perfectly. When you're off the bike and you've got this jacket and you're just walking around, it really just looks like a fashion piece and not a motorcycle jacket. I have never had so many compliments that I had wearing this jacket. I've had people coming up just saying, what is it? It looks so good. You will get felt up all the time. People just come along and grab you and they're like, where's the armor? Not believing that it's actually a motorcycle jacket. And you can't blame them, because when you see this in the flesh, when you wear it, it really is a style piece. And you would think it's not a motorcycle jacket, and that is the beauty of what Pando have done here. It is a motorcycle jacket and it works very well on the bike. So to actually still say that this is a style piece with it working so well off the bike, well done, Pando. I mean, I've reviewed a lot of jackets and style will always be second. If style is top, then the motorcycle part will be quite far down. So to have something that's a style jacket, work as a motorcycle jacket, still be protective, I mean, yeah. Kudos, Pando. Now, when it comes to style, I feel that although you might think, yes, this is for classic or retro bikes, it suits all bikes, I believe, because with this and a pair of jeans and a pair of trainers, I can easily see it on an R1. I think it suits my M1000R. It just is such a nice jacket to look at. And although, yes, you know, it's a no-brainer for retro, classic, bobbers, stuff like that. This jacket has to be in your lineup. But if you are a sport bike rider or even a super sport rider, I would genuinely take a look at it, because zipped up, it's got such a lovely, slim, plain profile that, like I say, with jeans and the trainers, it will suit your bike. If you, like me, wear your sport bike boots over your jeans and then a full gauntlet glove over the top, I think this jacket, again, rocks that look really well. And then we're going to go back to that thin 1.12 mil goat skin. And what that means is you can easily get a hoodie underneath, and you can have the hood then coming out the back, which will give it a bit more of a youthful style. Or, because it's so thin, you can just throw a hoodie over the top. So we're going to move on to ventilation and how this jacket copes in the weather. And basically there is one great big vent. There it is, down the middle, the zip down the middle. Everything else on this is just sealed in tight with this rib cuffing. Zip all the way up. It is a fully windproof jacket, which will give it a very nice warm feel to it. Although it is windproof, it is not waterproof. Now, Pando have given you an internal waterproof pocket, which is a good thought from them, because if you do get caught in a storm and you need to keep your electronics protected, you have that pocket there. But the jacket is not waterproof. I have been caught in a little bit of light rain, and the jacket was fine, just wiped it down, it wouldn't come through. But because of the thinness, again, of the leather, which gives such benefits to the jacket, it gives you also the negative, which is that the cold will stick to it and it can transfer very quickly through to your skin if you have it underneath. Now, with my 500 miles testing the jacket, I have had a cold 4-degree start in the morning with a commute into work, and I've also had a beautiful sunny day where it was over 20 degrees outside. Pando do supply their zip-in thermal lining, which is quilted and detachable, but it is only a gilet, so you don't have your arms covered. That means with the thermal protection in there, I would run this jacket down to about 8 degrees C, so anything below 12 degrees with the thermal in there, you're going to be able to ride that little bit longer. When you get below sort of 10 degrees, you are going to need something full length to cover your arms, be that just a jumper, or then you could beef it up with a much more thermal mid layer. Anyone worth their salt who does ride all year round is going to have their own range of mid layers, and I think Pando know this, so that's why they've just given you the more flexible gilet option. And obviously, if you've got somebody who wants to run this in colder months, they're just going to unzip it and put their own mid layer there. And for that unicorn rare sunny day that I got, and I couldn't believe it, you know, it was literally the day after I got the jacket, glorious sunshine, 20 degrees, and yes, you know, that really then was pushing me to the limit of the jacket. I was hot. When you're moving, you're fine, but when you're stopping in traffic, I was pulling the zip down a little bit to get the airflow back in. Off the bike, absolutely fine, because obviously you have the jacket open, and I would say 20 degrees really is the limit that you're going to want to take the jacket to. At that point, I was wearing the jacket without the thermal liner and with just a t-shirt underneath. I am really impressed with Pandomoto's approach. They have their motto engineered by riders. They even have it printed into the back of the jacket. And when I read it, I was like, yeah, marketing, you know, all manufacturers say that, designed by riders for riders. But having now thoroughly tested the jacket, you can tell that somebody who rides bikes has put their thought and they've stuck fast and not compromised, and that is why you have this fantastic jacket. It's safe to say that Pando really do take their brand and their products seriously. This jacket comes with a 2-year warranty, so if there's any defects, 2 years, Pando will take it back and they'll sort it out for you. But what makes it really interesting is Pando offer a crash protection lifetime warranty. And what they're saying is, should you have an off, if you send the jacket, pictures, etc., they will give you a new jacket in its replacement. And if they don't produce that jacket anymore, they will give you the equivalent. And why it really piqued my interest is because why would they do this? The simple answer is it's for R&D purposes. Crashing, of course, sucks, and no two crashes are ever the same. So for Pando to actually put some time and effort and investment into this, I really think it shows, you know, who Pando are as a manufacturer. So I'm going to go into these features that I spoke about that you can tell that a rider has got hold of this jacket and they've given their input. And the first is the zips, these big, thick YKK zips with tassels on them, especially on the main pocket at the side, even this little one on the arm. And if you don't want to use the one on the arm, they've given you ribbon here to tuck the tassel in, so that's not going to flap about. You can tell it's been thought out by a rider because you can operate these zips with a gloved hand, and it is a pet peeve of mine where, you know, you've got to take your gloves off to be able to put your jacket on. So the next point is this wind stop cuff here. Now, I've reviewed a lot of bombers and they do not have this, and it is so annoying. What they will do is they will put in thick padding to make the jacket warm, and then you zip it up and the air is just coming straight through the middle, and it's a real pain. It's just, why bother? Obviously, Pando have fixed this with this wind zip here. It also makes accessing the zip easier, and I do like the little detailing that they've done here with the diamond stitching. There is also a part of leather here to protect your tank when you're in the riding position. So there is extra leather either side, so the zip is not going to catch on the tank. It also gives a nice 2-layer approach because you can pull it down, feel that indentation, which is good for just a bit of an airflow when you stop at lights, and then when you're going on, you can easily pull it up. And then when you get to your destination, you can feel that extra bit of leather that you would just pull to undo the jacket. Now, the ribbing that you would find here on the cuff and also on the waist, it is very advanced materials that they are using, and you would think, why would Pando go to that effort? And it really does make a difference. This here is a material that will not stretch or lose its shape in wet weather. So if you get rained on, this is going to hold its shape for a long period of time, and it hasn't moved much at all in the 500 miles I covered it, so I do believe that. Velcro still sticks to it, but not as easily as you would find on ribbing of other jackets, and it really is a tight, secure fit. Now, that does mean when you're putting on a short cuff, if you want to put it over the top, you are going to have an extra couple of seconds fighting with the jacket to put it over. But I would much rather take that little negative to get it over the short cuffs and get that lovely seal that this gives you. And then finally, this little Velcro patch here is removable and you can put your own. So for the sci-fi geeks out there, here's a little patch to put on there, and it's just a nice little fun element, and it's a nod to the era and the style of an aviator jacket, which I love that they've put that thought into it. And so you may have noticed I'm not really nitpicking anything on this jacket. I'm not finding negatives. Pando have obviously gone with a brief, and they have just knocked it out the park. It is, we're going to produce an aviator style jacket. We're going to make it AA protected, and we're going to make it comfortable and stylish first, not sacrifice on the safety, and just produce that jacket. And that's what they've done. I mean, the only negatives are the limitations of the jacket itself. Because it's so thin, you're not going to wear it all the time on the extreme minus degree weather, but that's not what the jacket is designed for. Because of it being sealed up, there isn't much in the way of ventilation. And if they did put ventilation in, it would take away from the style, it would take away from the safety. So they really have just pitched it at that sort of 5 to 15 degree temperature range, which covers you for 3 seasons in most countries. And I think they've just done so well with it. It really is a really well thought out, comfortable, stylish piece. So for sizing, I am 5'11", 42-inch chest, 34-inch waist, and I am wearing a large. I'm a large in pretty much most of my jackets, sometimes an extra large if they run small. This jacket, I would say, runs about a half size too small, a little bit less than that. So I can get myself in medium jackets, but then moving around is always a little bit tight, which is why I opt for the large, or I go for an extra large if I want to run layers underneath. This large fits me absolutely perfect. So that concludes my review on the fantastic Pandomoto Falcon Aviator leather jacket. If you've enjoyed this review, please have a look on the other videos I have on the channel. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments and I will gladly answer them for you. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.